First off, let me say thank you to all of you for coming out today. I'm Nick Wibbenmeyer, Managing Director of Regency Centers, and I couldn't be more excited to celebrate the opening of our anchors here at Mellody Farm today. Before we cut the ribbon, I wanted to spend a couple of minutes reflecting on the tremendous work it took to get here by so many people and organizations. This project truly is an example of the incredible results that can be achieved when public entities and businesses come together with a shared vision and willingness to solve challenging problems. On the public side, we'd like to thank, first and foremost, the village of Vernon Hills, under the leadership of Mayor Byrne, for your support. We'd like to thank you for your support, guidance, and trust that we would deliver a world-class development. Mayor, village council members, and village staff, I know it wasn't always an easy process, but I hope as you look around today, you're as proud as we are of the results we've achieved together. At the state level, I'd like to thank the governor and his office for working hand in hand with IDOT to make our planned roadway improvements a reality. I'd also like to thank Lake County and Lake County Public Works for ensuring the infrastructure would be in place to service the development. Now, as much credit as these public entities deserve, and they deserve a lot, this project wouldn't have been possible without world-class retailers. As you look around today at Whole Foods and Barnes & Noble and Home Goods and REI and the future tenants to come, I think you would all agree that these are first-class retailers. Now, when you think of world-class retailers, I think at the top of everyone's list is Whole Foods. Michael Bashaw, the regional president of Whole Foods, is here to celebrate with us today. Oh, I need those. I did not memorize this. Michael, I want to personally thank you for not only being here today, but for your belief in us years ago that we'd collectively get to this day. You took a significant leap of faith in Regency Centers and the village that we would be successful where so many before had failed. Thank you for your commitment and your continued partnership with Regency Centers. We'll do a clap there, of course. I also want to thank and congratulate the best residential developer in Chicago, in my humble opinion, for bringing their vision, energy, and capital to Mellody Farm. I think we would all agree that Tim Anderson and Justin Pillay and the Focus Development team have built one of the highest quality residential projects in Metro Chicago, right next to us. Over 4 years ago, Regency Centers laid out a vision for this site. We wanted to create a world-class retail and residential development that would set a new standard for projects throughout Chicago and the Midwest. We wanted to ensure that future generations of Vernon Hills residents would see their sales tax base continue to grow. We wanted to create hundreds of construction jobs and hundreds of permanent jobs throughout Mellody Farm. And last but not least, we wanted to invest millions of dollars upgrading the intersection of Town Line and Milwaukee to create a better quality of life for all of those that drive through Vernon Hills. I couldn't be more proud to say that through the tireless efforts of those that I've mentioned, combined with the best consultants in the business, and so many hundreds of others that have put their blood, sweat, and maybe even a few tears into Mellody Farm, we've collectively accomplished that goal. Now, all that being said, there is one person I'd like to single out. No one has put more blood, sweat, and I know probably a couple of tears, and heart into the project than Matt Hendy, standing to my right. For those of you that don't know Matt, he's the vice president at Regency Centers that somehow acted as the glue keeping all of these pieces together. There was never a challenge he didn't work eagerly to overcome, a voice he didn't find time to listen to, or a creative idea he wasn't willing to explore. It's truly his sleepless nights and unwavering vision for this project that will allow generations to enjoy living, shopping, dining, and gathering at Mellody Farm. With that, Matt, the stage is now yours. Congratulations and great job.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you, Nick. And I echo all of the sentiments you gave relative to all the people that made this happen. There's literally hundreds of people, construction workers, labor, people in Regency, people in all walks of life came together to make this thing happen. So thank you to them, and I'm gonna single some people out here because they deserve extra credit. First and foremost, I wanted to say thank you to my wife, Laura, and thank you so much for putting up with the sleepless nights, the loss of hair, the general things that come with a project like this. I love you very much. Thank you for coming. And on the Regency team, definitely Nick Wibbemeyer, your leadership, your patience, understanding. We took a few risks out here, and your unwavering support, I know the entire team says thank you to you as well. Also on the Regency team, our senior project manager, Elisa Madigan. Where is Elisa? This would not have been possible without you. The glue of the entire construction process, everything ran through Elisa, and she handled it with poise and grace and got us all to this day with just a few hiccups that we were all able to overcome. So thank you again, Elisa. Well done. Our Director of Property Management, Peggy McDermott. Where's Peggy? Hi, Peggy. Peggy McDermott has been in real estate her entire life, and there's no doubt her expertise of property management, understanding how shopping centers work, understanding a thing or two about design. She'll tell you all about how she came up with what you're standing on right now, the concrete. She'll tell you that story after the speeches. But Peggy, well done. Thank you so much. This is your baby now. So if anybody's got any problems, call Peggy. Don't call Lisa or I. We're out. And I also wanted to talk about Bernard Seawick. Bernard, with Wick Consulting. Bernard worked with Regency for a long time and then went out on his own, very successful in his project management skills. I'm proud to call you a friend. You are the best kept secret in Chicago construction, and I think people are going to start to realize that after today. Well done. As Nick mentioned, some of our world-class consultants, Steve Elrod. Where's Steve? There's Steve. Steve was instrumental about bringing together both the village, the county, the state. His tentacles are all over this transaction, and we thank him very, very much. We'll talk about him a little bit more in a minute. But also wanted to bring the attention of Mike Rollison. Where's Mike? There he is. All these buildings, everything you see around is Mike Rollison's vision. I think we at Regency and we might have done the least amount of value engineering possible to make sure that Mike's vision came to reality. And Mike, it's beautiful. Well done. And I also wanted to thank our friends at Nelson who assisted Mike putting together the construction drawings for 12 different buildings and more buildings to come in the future. Thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Craig. And then last but not certainly least is our good friends at CBRE. Brendan Reedy's around here somewhere, also a Regency alumnus, who's gone on to be one of the best, if not the best, retail leasing broker in the city of Chicago. Where is Brendan? There he is. He's over there. Thank you, Brendan. You've been with us from the very beginning. Your expertise, time, and effort, and continued work to bring world-class retailers to Mellody Farm does not go unnoticed. Thank you very much. So it's true. Mellody Farm is the definition of a public-private partnership, public-private success. As Nick mentioned, from the governor's office to Lake County, and most importantly, the village of Vernon Hills. The key staff members at Vernon Hills that hung with us through a lot of meetings, through a lot of important meetings and important decisions, their time and effort does not go unnoticed as well. Beyond the board, staff is what makes these types of things happen. Without them and their tireless expertise and grinding on different details to make sure that another voice is being heard at the table on these developments, it is what makes this stuff actually come to fruition. Wanted to call attention is Mike Atkinson, the building commissioner. Is Mike Atkinson here somewhere? Mike, you've been an advocate from day one. Thank you very much. It is very, very exciting to see this all come together, and we really, really thank you for all the time and effort you put into each one of these buildings and getting things done the right way. Assistant Village Manager Joe Carey. Joe was the first person I met with on this project over 4 years ago, and Joe's always been enthusiastic about it. He's always brought a great approach day in and day out. Thank you, Joe. It's been a pleasure. And then Dave Brown. Dave, we have been through a lot. Well documented. But look at this. It works. It's awesome. Thank you very much. And then I also believe State Senator Terry Link is here as well. Is Terry here? Terry, thank you for coming. State Senator Terry Link has been an advocate and a supporter from day one as well. And as Nick and I have mentioned, it's not just the village, it's not just the county, but it's all the way up to the state level. Thank you for your support, sir. In all these uncertain political times that we live in, leadership, boards, staff, governmental bodies truly deserve the pat on the back, the success, the job well done when things get done. And that's exactly what happened here. Let's give everybody in governmental service a big thank you. And I can confirm for those of you who don't know, the mayor of Vernon Hills has a fantastic sense of humor. And he's kept it the entire time through this entire project. Mayor Byrne, thank you very much for your leadership and your board's leadership to get to this day. You'll have your time. So Mayor Byrne, I've got a couple stories about Mayor Byrne. One of the first meetings we had with Mayor Byrne when we were trying to better, get to know each other and understand if this was going to happen or not happen. I'm a transplant. I came here straight after college. Brendan and I went to Indiana together, and I met my wife Laura here. So I call Chicago home. I've been here for 14 years. And the Regency office, many of the leaders we talked about today out of the Regency office have been at Regency for 13 plus years. So we've been here a very long time. Regency Centers is based out of Jacksonville, Florida, but all decisions, all of the development expertise comes out of this office here locally. The mayor likes to, test people, rightfully so. So I said, Mayor, we're Jacksonville based, but you can be assured we're going to be here every step of the way. And he said, Matt, yeah, you've been here 14 years. That's great. Are you a Blackhawks fan? And I said, yeah, I lived in Wicker Park. It's great. Went to a lot of games. Great run. Yeah. Can you say for me the name of that song they play after every goal that they score? Yeah, that's what I thought. It's going to be a nice ride, Matt. True story, 100% true. And if you didn't pay attention during any of our public hearings, there was a lot of great stories coming out of the public hearings, a lot of good work being done, but a couple really fun stories. The mayor affectionately bestowed nicknames on a lot of his favorite players in this process. Steve Elrod was known as the mouthpiece. Hey, Matt, I get it. The board, they understand what you guys are trying to say. You can tell your mouthpiece to sit down now. And one of all of our favorites, and it's going to stick, and it has stuck, is Nick Wibbenmeyer, The Art of the Deal. Hey, Matt, have you talked to The Art of the Deal about this? What's his opinion? Oh, it's stuck. Everybody knows about it. So the mayor's truly one of a kind, and he's provided that leadership that's got us to this point, and he'll have his revenge here in a couple minutes, I'm sure. But what the mayor has done over his tenure and his board's tenure is create a real sense of community here in Vernon Hills. Not just Vernon Hills itself, but it's the center of a region. The reason why this piece of property is developed the way it is now is because it sits at the confluence of two state highways. There's 80,000 cars a day that pass that intersection right through the middle of Vernon Hills. And the mayor has cultivated a great sense of business, a great place to live, and his leadership in that regard in creating communities is the reason why a project like this can get built, because community still matters. We all know that change has arrived in all of our worlds, regarding almost every piece of our lives over the past 10 years. The way we consume information, and especially the way we consume goods and services, are all in the midst of massive change. We see it every day. Pundits will tell you that the age of online shopping is going to put places like this out of business. I differ a little bit. I think there's much more to experiencing life than picking up packages and brown boxes off your front door. We, Nick, myself, the Regency team, strongly believe that humans have a desire, a need, and an instinctual drive to interact with other human beings. There's no doubt about it. My wife will tell you that's just my massive case of FOMO, and part of that's true. But at the same time, there's something to it, is Mellody Farm is seeking to satisfy that need to interact with other humans on a variety of levels. Mellody Farm is a place to bring your family and friends to enjoy any of our soon-to-be-open fabulous restaurants. There's going to be 15 plus restaurants here. Bring your family and friends to Mellody Farm and have a wonderful meal. Mellody is a place to let your kids play in the park behind you or on the lawn under your feet for 10 minutes. And believe me, I know I got a lot of little kids. That 10 minutes where you can grab a cup of coffee and a wonderful donut is going to be wonderful. Mellody Farm is a place to stock your fridge or furnish your house with ever-changing projects from our best-in-class merchants like Whole Foods. Mellody is the place to stop by for a breather during your adventure on the Des Plaines River Trail. And finally, in the age of social media, Mellody will delight the senses with dozens of artistic moments and world-class architecture. There's something here for everyone, and everyone is welcome at Mellody Farm. Thank you. With that, I'd like to invite Michael Bashaw up to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here, and I thought I'd start with some good news. I'll be brief. Whole Foods is all about partnerships and community, and I think we're here today to celebrate both of those concepts. And so thanks have been shared with everyone, and we are certainly grateful for the cooperation of all the parties that brought this development to the fantastic finish that we're seeing here today. But I do want to appreciate the partnership that we have with Regency. Both Matt and Nick are longtime friends and partners and business associates. And I think there's a special breed of person who's able to come to a corner that I think could charitably be described as a lot of scrub trees and time shift and see forward to what it could be in a new vision. And they both have that ability. And I think Whole Foods shares that ability as well. So what we pledge to you is that our same commitment to develop a community relationship that we followed all through the United States, we will bring that to your community as well. I think that if you visit the store, I believe it's pretty special. And I hope that you'll agree with me too. But I'm welcoming you to become our community partners as we will be your community partners over the many years. And reach out, say hello. If we can help in any way, we certainly will. So thank you for a fantastic beginning. Thank you, Mayor, for having the vision to allow all of this to happen. We couldn't be more thrilled.
He would call me, and then I'd call Dave to see if the complaint was legitimate. Okay, well, this in the art of the deal, I did nickname him that. And Steve is a mouthpiece, okay? So, what can I say? Uh, in any event, yeah, this is a piece of land here that was about 55 acres and roughly, is it 39 buildable? Yeah, it wasn't even 40, was it? Well, in any event, this land's been annexed into town since like 1986. And, John Cuneo, was asking a lot of money for it from day one. I'm sure collectively we spent a lot of money on this development because the village of Vernon Hills, extended $12 million in bonds. I mean, $20 million in bonds to help build this place. So we're on the hook, and we are certainly part of the team here because we have Gelt in the game. So in essence, but when this was annexed in, I mean, crazy, it was like 30 years before anything really happened here. And, a lot of that had to do with, in all honesty, you just couldn't strike a deal with the Cuneos. And thank God we got this taken care of because this has personally turned out to be a gorgeous project. And hats off to all of you that brought this to life. And, yeah, I guess I need that. They brought this to life. So, this was annexed into, like I said, 86. But we always called this the crown jewel of, Vernon Hills and maybe parts of the county and we're known as a shopping mecca, or I made that up. But this project led to the creation of $35 million in TIF district and $200 million investment into the community by Regency Centers and Focused Development. Is Tim Anderson here? Okay, yeah, Tim did the 260 apartment complex to the north. Anyway, Regency Centers and Focused Development. Yeah, okay. True public-private partnership. Village invested $20 million. All right. Well, and I don't want to overemphasize that, but that's what took a long time, and I wouldn't want to see Steve's legal bill. Because I'm sure we spent quite a bit too. But one person, I think should be acknowledged throughout this 4-year process. He's no longer with us, but John Calmer was the village manager up until last March, and he put in a lot of time and effort in this, and he's an excellent land planner and development guy. So I just wanted to mention that. I'm done, Matt, because you want to start talking about water hookups? Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure that's all been resolved with the county, right, Barry? It's all set? You can't speak? I just want to know, hey, what were the hookup fees for the sewer and water?
Market. They
Yeah,
were market fees.
about $3 million?
I can't recall.
Yeah, I bet it's at least that. Okay, well, the county did okay on this one. All right. Thank you for your time and attention.
We value not just our political partnerships, our county and state partnerships, but also our philanthropic partnerships. And today, CASA is here, and I believe Brendan Siegfried's here from CASA to talk a little about the work he does in this community, and then we'll do a check presentation. Brendan?
Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank Regency Centers and all of our elected officials for having us and making us a part of this. For those of you who don't know what CASA is, we are an organization that is volunteer-based that works with children who have suffered abuse and neglect. So when a child's removed from their home, it is a chaotic, it's a scary, it's an unfamiliar experience. And when a child is then placed into a new home, they are surrounded by faces they don't know, rules they're not familiar with, and it is a very challenging thing for them to deal with just after going through what is ultimately the most traumatic thing that any child can endure, abuse and neglect from the people that are intended to care for you. And that's where our CASA volunteers step in. Our volunteers are trained by our professional staff, and they're assigned in an official capacity by the court system to work with these children, to meet with them, to check in with teachers, educators, therapists, caseworkers, and ensure that they have all the support and services that they need to have their educational needs met, to have their health needs met, and to ensure they're on a path to a safe, permanent home where they can begin the next stage of their life, hopefully with a brighter, safer future. I want to thank Regency Centers and Matt for their support, which will allow us to provide a CASA volunteer to an entire family for the entirety of the next year. So thank you very much for that. That's an incredible thing and an incredible gift to those children. And I also want to thank Regency Centers for their commitment to our volunteers who give so much of their time and energy and love to the children that they serve, who deserve so much of that, and also to our community that they're ultimately serving. So thank you to Matt and to Regency Centers.
Yeah, I wanted to thank the village board. We have new trustees, Craig Takioka. We have the doctor, Dr. Oppenheim. We have Jim Schultz, who's been on the board a long time. Cindy Hepna came back. Cindy lived in town forever and was a preschool teacher, and she had a nickname, Miss Cindy. So, anyway, I just wanted, who else? Is there any other trustees here? Where? Oh, Carrie, where's she at? Okay. And Carrie Brown, our newest trustee, who was appointed a couple of weeks ago. So, and of course, thanks staff again. Okay.